Dave and Jimmy and Kelsey and Tyler and Joseph. We've now made you two people. Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots. One half of the tour's over? Or you're just going to wait and do another half?
We are definitely playing next year, but it's going to be
a different tour.
It's a different. Well, it'll be a whole thing. We're gonna go over to Europe and.
They come many in Europe.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of them.
The reason I bring that up is you just posted. You just did a. Don't believe the hype. You redid it, okay? And it was a little visit to Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere nestled in the redo of this song was a little concert footage, just a little moment of them on stage with 300,000 people.
Was it like this ridiculous festival?
There's a lot of people. You know, you get on a stage in front of that many people, especially in like South America, where you can't see the end of the crowd, and you get off stage and you just think, I think I'm a different person now. Like it's that a moment like that actually does change you.
I'd get off stage and be like, I hope someone took a picture.
Wouldn't you? You know, if you're in an amazing moment, yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be an
sure.
amazing?
I'm sure you guys do actually sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you get? Do you have to rise to the moment of 300,000 people watching you, or is it just another day at the office?
It's odd because even now, if I get in front of 20 people, maybe like a classroom of people, still kind of get those jitters. Just talking in front of that many people, something happens. There's a threshold that's crossed at like 150, 200, where all of a sudden you feel comfortable. Because of the way our career's gone, playing shows in front of 100 people all the way up till 10,000 doing arenas, it's kind of all felt fine, and I feel like I belong up there.
Right.
Once you cross over into the 20s, 30s, hundreds of thousands, then you start to lose how you're even coming across. Like, is what I'm doing even being seen or heard correctly? Because you just that many eyes and ears.
Yeah.
And so it really becomes this thing where you have to just focus on what you've rehearsed, what am I ready for this? And if you prepare, then a lot of times you get off stage and you wonder, I don't even know if that went well. I can't even.
Yeah, how do you know if you're connecting with people in the back?
Especially if they don't speak your language. You're trying to.
Do they sing the words? They have to in English.
Yeah.
Does it have a weird accent with it?
It does. You can kind of hear the
really?
accent depending on where you are.
Oh, don't believe the hype.
Yeah, the hype.
Yeah. I worry about, because in America, man, I get a little weirded out when I'm in a place with 10,000 people. How do you, as a person, go to the bathroom with 300,000 people? How do you feed yourself? How long do you, because a lot of these festivals,
well,
they
Tyler
go
doesn't
all
have to do that.
They
He has
go
his
all
own.
day. No, but don't you worry about that? There's 300,000 people that have to pee.
Oh yeah,
to eat.
I would never want to. I don't know. Maybe this is. But putting on an event of that size, just with the weather and because I rub shoulders with the promoters of those events, and the stuff that they have to worry about. What even coming into a country that they're not familiar with, trying to put on a big festival. But also all the way down to, do you have enough porta potties for this many people?
That's legit.
The flow of getting in and out, and
don't say flow and porta potties in the same sentence.
the flow of into the porta potty and out of the porta potty.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd feel. Do people pass out at those events over there? They have to.
Well, it depends on the country.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because some countries are like, listen, we're not passing out. We'll play the hottest.
What do you mean?
I don't know what it is. We'll play the hottest, dingiest, like the toughest circumstances where, these kids are gonna pass out, but they don't. And it's usually like South America, Mexico, Germany, Russia, these places where they know we're probably not coming back for a while. Our tour like ours will maybe go in once or twice, maybe. And so they even though they're fans of all these artists, they don't see them very often. So when they feel like they're about to pass out, they just decide, no, I'm not going to pass out. But then
they're in it to win.
Incredible will.
Then you go into the nice, air conditioned Madison Square Garden, and you got people in the front row like, my body's done, and they'll pass out from.
You're performing and you watch somebody pass out. Are you like confident that they'll be taken care of, or do you should I do something about this?
That is a new skill that I've kind of had to learn, which is playing a song, singing it, executing the song, but also out of the corner of your eye watching someone kind of get in trouble, whether or not they're okay. And then you have to decide: do I stop the show? Should
Right.
I
Have you had to do that?
Yeah. No, we stop the show all the time.
Really?
Yeah. So
You say, hey, someone's got to help this guy.
I'll just look over to Josh, the drummer, and be like, stop, and we'll stop, and I'll mention, hey, pull the lights up. I got my lighting guy, Shap. I was like, Shap, put the lights up. We got someone in the pit.
Wow.
And then Josh and I'll kind of just step off stage, and then they'll figure it out. And some of these people really do need help. Like they need part the C's, get in there, maybe some medical in there.
Wow,
everything.
that's crazy.
But then there's this whole other thing where some girl will be like, I don't feel well, and then everyone else is trying to be the good Samaritan, and they start waving me down.
And you're wondering, do I?
And there's this scale where it's like you watch to see how many pointed fingers there are, and if there's like 20 or 30 of them, you kind of have to pay attention, like who's pointing down at this person who needs help in this large crowd. But sometimes it gets out of hand. They're just excited that they got me to stop the show.
Oh, geez.
And then there's this whole other thing you have to decide whether or not it's legit or not.
Okay, this is insanely interesting. More from Tyler Joseph in a moment. This is Dave and Jimmy.